Unless I was a T-Rex and I tripped over something, like, I don't think they're going down that easily.
Or throw out your back in a watering hole. Hey folks, welcome back to Gecko Enter the Gecko, and we're continuing Pangea 90210.
Well, I wonder why they picked 90210. Like, what about the level makes it 90210?
It's a movie parody, so it's... What is it? Miami 90210? Beverly Hills 90210?
Something like I thought it was like a medical show, though.
I don't know.
That was not my style of show.
I never watched it, but I'm familiar that it's a thing.
Yeah, I am as well. I just didn't know why Pangea.
I know Hawaii Five-0 has like that awesome theme.
Yeah. Chicken leg.
Yeah, we're gonna collect chicken legs and other things. Gex here has the old bone through the nose aesthetic going on.
Yes.
The dinosaur bone.
I love it.
Yeah, not that many video games have dinosaur levels, but when they do, they tend to be my favorite. I like the old prehistoric aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I'm a fan of dinosaurs. I wish I knew more about them. Like I know some facts about dinosaurs and some knowledge, but
it changes a lot, and there's a lot of disputes. And I prefer my dinosaurs on the scaly side, but I'm fine with the feathery side.
Well, they're
I'm just not gonna be aggressive about it.
I'm not aggressive about the featheriness of my dinosaurs.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to.
I used to have this theory that God was a dinosaur.
Oh wow! You want to continue that theory, or we want to just cut off there?
There's almost no substance.
There is no substance.
I just, for a while, believed that God was a dinosaur.
Interesting.
But in my head, he was always a pterodactyl.
Sounds like it would make a cool picture.
Yeah. You picture a pterodactyl with a big white beard. Just
Well, all right then.
Why a pterodactyl though? In my child brain, if I could go back as a child and ask myself a handful of questions, that would definitely be one of them. Yeah. Why do you think God is a pterodactyl?
Is the pterodactyl your favorite dinosaur?
No!
No.
A triceratops is my favorite dinosaur.
Oh, cool. Good pick, by the way. My issue was always, and this is just still talking about dinosaurs, but more towards the science, why they were so hung up on trying to make T-Rex a little bitch. Oh, well, he had little arms. So what? So it's a disability.
Aww.
He could still be this king of tyrants with a disability.
Well, I think it was
But if he was knocked down, how would he get up?
He'd beat his face off of shit until he righted himself.
Oh, we're going off of Land Before Time logic?
Yeah.
Where he gets knocked to the ground and smashes his face against a rock until he stands?
He would roar and all the smaller dinosaurs would gather and lift him back until he was ready. Does it matter?
Again, it was a disability. They weren't there.
Yeah, well,
so
Jeffrey
Dahmer
walked with a limp. Look at how many people he still killed.
Well, this took a turn.
I don't think that having small arms would make him not king. If he was one of the biggest and the most aggressive and the other animals feared him the most, then I'm sorry that here's your throne.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter you have little arms. Napoleon was 4'11".
If he was knocked down, well, first you got to get him down.
Yeah. That's unless I was a T-Rex and I tripped over something, I don't think they're going down that easily.
Or throw out your back in a watering hole.
My T-Rex self would be the weight of my head through my hip out.
I got a big head, little arms.
I didn't think this through.
I don't think this plan was well thought out.
I love that
Master.
Part. I love it. I love that. I love that movie.
It is a very underappreciated movie.
That was such a good movie.
It has a wonderful message about perseverance.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Well, not only perseverance, but family. And family doesn't always have to be blood.
Yeah.
There are people that love you regardless of biology.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Meet the Robinsons for anyone who.
Oh yeah, we didn't say the name.
Who didn't get the dinosaur reference?
We didn't say the name.
Yeah,
That villain. Oh my
the
god.
bowler hat man.
He is just so hilarious.
His child,
I'm the 2 o'clock. You're the 2 o'clock. Yes, you're Mary. Yes.
His childhood meme was my life for the longest time, where he has like the big bags under his eyes, and it's like.
And the steak, the cold
Yeah,
steak
the cold
over the
steak.
bruise.
Oh my gosh, I love it. But yeah, I definitely think T-Rexes are still kind of like the scariest of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I still
So-
think he would be up there. Like, he'd be more of a scavenger. Sure, but he'd still be very frightening.
Could you imagine seeing a T-Rex picking berries off a tree?
Yeah, no.
He's gonna scoop up a smaller one and just
Yeah.
get out of here with your theories.
Exactly. It's just like, you're not there. Okay, it's a disability, but
See, I
you'd
don't-
be surprised.
I don't understand how they could say that he would be like a scavenger or eat more plant life.
They keep going off those
With-
damn arms. Whoa, was that a jump?
Woo! You just threw yourself into the abyss.
Guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die here. Well, the thing with the diet is teeth-based.
Okay.
It had sharp teeth, which means
Yes.
it developed that teeth to rip meat.
Yes.
That's why cows have like all molars. They don't have sharp teeth because
Right.
they're not ripping meat. They use it to grind up grain.
Exactly.
So if a T-Rex was like a scavenger and ate more plant-based diet, he wouldn't have big-ass sharp teeth.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it makes sense because, like,
I could understand
the
it,
greatest
you know?
ancestor of, like, the dinosaurs is the crocodile.
Yeah.
Because, like, they lived way back then.
Yeah.
They were, like, one of the
They're
few
modern
survivors.
dinosaurs.
So, like, you look at the crocodile and it's just like, yeesh.
Can you imagine the crocodile, like, I'm going off the comet theory, like this big fiery comet hits the earth and like annihilates dinosaurs, and
The croc just goes, nope, and
he's
dies
just like,
underwater.
I'm a head out. Like,
I'm a head out.
He just like stands up on his little hind legs and like walks into the ocean and just doesn't come back out. Like, stubborn as a crocodile. That's why I'm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why won't you die? Ooh, little firefly.
There we go. No.
You have to collect long necks.
Yeah.
Aw.
Not just long necks. They have like the little.
They have like a package on their back.
It's a Flintstones reference.
Okay.
Because like at the beginning of Flintstones, he's like, yabba dabba doo.
Yeah.
He has like a little
The
station
yeah,
on
like
top
a
of the
carriage.
Yeah,
for-
on
for
top of the
kids.
brontosaurus.
Oh my gosh, there's a comedian on YouTube called Flula.
I have not heard of this comedian.
He's I don't think he intended to be a comedian at first, but he has since become a comedian.
Hey, whatever
So-
works.
He's a German guy.
Okay.
And he basically talks about just different colloquialisms that we have in English that don't make sense to him.
I'm very proud of you for saying that word without slurring.
I love that word.
Ah!
But like, in the one, he's
I'd
like,
slur.
the Flintstones, yabba dabba do. How about yabba dabba don't?
Ah.
And it's so funny to hear him. But he talks about like, who named the daddy long legs?
Oh.
Was Mother Nature on a coffee break? Like, shooting fish in a barrel. Party pooper.
Okay, and what's his name?
Flula.
All right, we'll have to check out Flula.
Yeah, I really like Flula. He's also a DJ. Like, he originally became, like, he came to the U.S. to be a DJ. And he's a fairly successful DJ, but, like, he started doing these-
resume.
He started doing those YouTube channels and, like, became a YouTube comedian.
Did you know that Flintstones was originally an adult cartoon?
Was it?
Yeah, it was like
It was like
supposed
the
to be like a
Guy.
Family Guy, yeah.
Ah. Wilma.
Because he went to the bar, and like that was the big taboo back then.
Was like going, Aren't they the first cartoon where it's like Fred and Wilma are shown in the same bed?
Ooh, it might be.
I think that was like one of the first instances of like you see them.
Like there
in
was a
bedroom
lot of
together.
things about it at the time that was
That
like
was taboo.
Whoa! It's like it took risks that we don't even think of.
about,
Yeah. Like two animated characters in the same bed. It's like whoa.
Well, because I remember, I don't know if it was the Flintstones, but it was a cartoon
Mm-hmm.
that showed a married couple in the same bed.
It might be Flintstones because I'm pretty sure they're both in the same bed.
Yeah, because a lot of like shows and everything, you see them and they're in separate beds. They have like 2 twin beds. That for special happy times, you'd make a larger bed by pushing them together. But like to show on film, they're 2 separate beds.
Right. Okay. Well.
But yeah, it was a cartoon that first showed one bed in the bedroom.
But yeah, it's funny how like people like my mother is just like, where do these garbage cartoons like Family Guy and American Dad come from for
The
adults? And I'm just like, well, and my dad's like, well, Flintstones. She's like, what? He's like, yeah, Flintstones. He's like, that was an adult cartoon at a time.
Yeah. Well,
Just-
'cause, I mean, even
we
Ren
kept
and
push-
Stimpy
The envelope
was an adult cartoon as well. Wasn't
Oh
it?
hell yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember that one even now being kid friendly.
Nope.
Rocko's Modern Life, I think, was originally like a more adultish cartoon.
I wouldn't be surprised
That
if
was
Angry
later.
Beavers
I
was
feel
a bit more adult, or maybe it just was risque humor.
I think it was risque humor. It was
Okay.
like on the path of like. I think by the time we got to watch it, we were old enough to get some of the references,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still very much like a children's cartoon with a lot
Finally.
of adult humor.
Got them all.
Daggett. Norbert. My mom loved Angry Beavers.
Lucky. My mom was very strict about certain cartoons.
So mine was too. Like, we weren't allowed to watch a lot of things, but my dad would often like fall asleep in front of the TV. So,
So long as they didn't curse or use God's name in vain, my dad was pretty much like, eh. But like if they cursed, it was just like, turn it off. Your mother won't like this.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think my mom was more strict about the movies we were allowed to watch. So, like,
Okay.
we weren't allowed to watch super violent movies or like sexually explicit movies.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I remember really wanting to watch Something About Mary.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I was like 13, and my mom was like, no,
Ah.
I wasn't allowed to watch Something About Mary. And I forgot about it for a really long time, and I watched it for the first time probably like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, I see why I wasn't allowed to watch it. I wouldn't have known what was going on.
Right.
But at the same time, I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, my mom was weird with movies because for a while, like, she'd watch movies on TV and she'd be like, okay, this is okay. And then we'd buy it and she'd be like, how come they added all the swearing? What I later learned was that they took the swearing out to put it on TV.
Right.
They didn't add the swearing for the movie.
I don't even think it was so much swearing that she cared about. It was more like the actual content of like, is it too violent, or is it too expletive?
Exploitive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that how you say it? The right word?
Mm,
Explicit?
explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That was more like what she was concerned about.
Okay.
So if there was like an innuendo that we weren't gonna get, it was okay.
Your mom was more level-headed than mine? Big shock. Hey, so we're going to Honey, I Shrunk the Gecko in the next world. And we're going to clear these 2 levels, and then we'll face the Gekzilla boss.
Oh, I can't wait. He's... You say it like it is, Gex.
Alrighty, so yeah, this is another cyberspace level. A bit more complex than the last one.
Okay.
Let me tell you, like, again, what I want to focus on is... Yeah, definitely got to be radioactive, but there's a lot of ceiling climbing in this one.
That is
And
going to
you
be
can get
very
lost.
confusing for me because I like even
It's confusing
without,
for me, too.
Yeah, even without going on the ceiling, I have really bad orientation of like knowing where I'm at.
Yeah.
You saw that in Alice. I would like turn the camera around briefly and I'd be like, "Where'd I go?
Yeah.
Where am I?" So
Where am I? What happened?
pretty much.
Did I save?
When was the last time I saved? Oh, it's sad though, because I'm like that in real life too.
Where am I? What happened? Ah! There went my hip.
I yeeted off the bed.
I yeeted off the bed. That happened once. I didn't yeet off the bed, but one time I woke up in the middle of the night with my back, like, to the side of the bed.
Yep.
And I was just like, where am I?
Yep.
Where,
Have you
if
ever...
this is the wall, then where's... Oof!
Oh my gosh, have you ever, like, turned the wrong way in the bed in the middle of the night? So, like, instead of sleeping long ways, you like, wake up sideways?
Yup.
But you're looking at a different part of your room that you're not normally looking
Yes.
at, and you're like, oh god.
You're like, did I sleep over at my cousin's? What is this?
Yep. You wake up with, like, a brief moment of panic.
It's like the opposite of when you fall asleep on the couch when you were a kid and someone carried you in your bed. You're like, ah, that's convenient.
Now it's just panic. Oh, where am I?
How'd I get here? Where's the dog? I'm too young to die.
Oh my gosh, in college.
It's not my time, damn it.
So one thing that happens when I'm really stressed out, I sleepwalk.
Well,
Yeah.
you heard it here first, folks. I don't make her stressed because she has yet to sleepwalk
Yeah,
in this relationship.
I haven't sleepwalked for a while. But when I'm really, really stressed out, I do sleepwalk. But I actually, like, do sleep chores.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, like...
Sleep make me a sandwich.
Dude, it's in my, like, sub-brain. Like, my unconscious brain, like...
I'm burning in hell.
You would literally wake up to, like, a 3-course meal, laundry done and folded, the house clean, like, yard work done, probably go grocery shopping, like... It's bad whenever I'm really stressed out. I sleep drove to Walgreens once.
I'm surprised Alice didn't drive you to that point.
Oh my god.
Where you're just, because, like, you got livid at a couple points. And, like, I know it's time to put the game down because you're no longer, like, it's not when you threaten to punch me in the face. Because I'm just like, let's push her just a little further.
Please, okay.
She won't
So
actually swing.
I have to defend myself on that one. So I would try to hit the jump button. My problem is I don't have the controls memorized. So I have to look at the controller to see what button I need to press. Which means I have to take my eyes off the screen for a second. And the game doesn't stop. So, like, I'm trying to do this quickly, and I'm hitting a button that I think is the jump button. So I'm getting mad because she's not jumping, and I'm clearly hitting the jump button. And this asshole goes, well, why don't you just hit the jump button? Like, he's not hearing me click this goddamn button. And you just hit the jump button. I'm like, I'm going to punch you in the throat. Yeah.
Like I was saying, that's not the part that bothered me. It was when you're just like, you know what? I'm not having fun. And I'm just like, all right, time to put the game away.
Time to take a break.
Time to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, that game was rough for me in in a few areas where it was just really frustrating and I stopped having fun.
Yeah, you had it was a different kind of anger than the anger you had when we tried to go through World of Illusion.
Right. World of Illusion, like, I was angry, but I was, like, a determined angry, even though I cried. I still, like, wanted to beat it. I wanted to play it. With Alice, I wanted to put it down. So, not to say I didn't want to pick it back up, but
Right.
I definitely needed a break.
All right, and speaking of a break, we're going to take a short break before we get to the next part. See you guys then.
Toodles!